Hi, I'm Pinkway Taylor, and today, instead of doing gameplay, I would be talking about my, uh, sorry, I'm really tired right now, but instead of doing gameplay today, I would be talking about some Nintendo series, whether it be Mario Kart, Mario, Mario Party, F-Zero, Metroid, Pokemon, you get the gist of it. But Uh, I would do gameplay today, but I have something important to do after the stream, and I have to get it done by tomorrow. So I just wanted to hurry up and do a stream today because I promised you guys that I would do streaming videos for and Fridays and between 11 and 1 o'clock. So I want to keep that promise. So without further ado, first let me tell you how this is going to work. So I'm mainly just going to talk about some of my favorite Nintendo series uh, of games that they have, and like you guys may have like your own favorites, whether it be or ones that I didn't mention. So leave in the chat, or if you're watching this after the stream, after it's been uploaded, after the stream, then below what your Nintendo series game is. So let me begin. So what the first one that I think of like series is Super Mario Brothers. And I never played the original Super Mario Brothers games because I never had an NES. But I did, however, play Super Mario World. Excuse me, sorry. Super Mario World and Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. And I loved those two games. So my pick is like series, whether it be Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario World, Super Mario or Sunshine, all the for the Wii U. I enjoy those games. I do. I how simple they are, but also how difficult they are. Like they're easy to pick up and learn, but they're so the gameplay. Well, not necessarily gameplay, but just the rules and all that are difficult. It can be difficult at times. I the series. Another reason why I love the series is because Yoshi is my favorite Mario character. He's my favorite Nintendo character, and Yoshi is super cute. The found a dinosaur view is awesome, and Yoshi's just adorable. If you don't like Yoshi, then you. But uh, I love Mario games. My next pick that I'm not necessarily a huge fan of the series. I like one of the games out of the series. I've only played two of the games out of the series, and I didn't like the one that I did play. And that's Mario Party. My grandparents had Mario Party 2 when I was growing up, and I played a lot of that. I played a lot of Mario Party, but then like years later, but then like years back, quite years back, probably about a little over 10 years ago, I uh uh went to the mall with my dad, and we were at this one store. It wasn't GameStop, and it wasn't like all those other gaming. It was a different place that sold video games and movies and CDs and all that. and they had a GameCube set up with a Mario Party game, and I think it was Mario Party 5, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember exactly which one it was, but it was one of them for the GameCube, and I played it, and I was like, this game sucks. And I played it because I'm like, I played Mario Party 2, I played Mario Party 2 before, and I loved it. Played this particular Mario Party for the GameCube, and I hated it. It sucked. It sucked balls. It just was not great. Not a great game. I got bored after like 10 minutes of playing it. And but Mario Party 2. Do love Mario Party 2. Now on to my other favorite Nintendo series. This one has to be in like my top. It's definitely in my top. Mario Kart. Mario Kart. I played Super Mario Kart. I played Mario Kart 64, which is my favorite out of the ones that I played. I played Mario Kart for the Wii. I haven't played like the arcade Mario Kart games because over to come to Tulsa. I guess they weren't in any Tulsa arcades, but I did play the Mario Kart Wii. I played Mario Kart 64. I played Super Mario Kart. I haven't played Double Dash yet because my grandparents didn't have it. Played what was the other one? I haven't played the Game Boy ones, like the ones for the Game Boy, and I haven't played 7, and I haven't played 8. I haven't played like the obscure ones. I haven't played those, but I've played like the ones that a lot of people know about, like Super Mario Kart, Mario Kart 6, Mario Kart for the Wii. But I do want to get, when I get the money, I'm going to get a Switch, and I'm going to get Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Because I love Mario Kart games. Like, they're so much fun and entertaining. The thing about uh, getting those power-ups. And I would play them all the time with my sister and my one cousin. When he stopped around, me and my sister played it with our other cousins. And my sister and my one cousin, he always trolling that. On to 3 green shells or 3 red shells, he would hold on to them for trolling. It wasn't for blocking or anything. It was for trolling. Like, you trying to get behind him, get right behind him. His shell would hit you. You'd hit the shell, and then it would mess your day up. And then, or if you got like a ton of bananas, like if you got like a whole row of bananas, he would hold on to those bananas. And I always hated him for that. And my sister did it a few times too, and I always hated him for it. But then I started doing it, and my cousins would get so mad at me for doing it. But it was just so much fun doing it. It was so much fun being able to do that. And I don't know what necessarily is about Mario Kart that makes me like it so much. I think it's the power ups. I think it's the fact that you have like all these different power ups, all these different like items that you can use, and you can ruin someone's day by getting a blue shell and hitting them with the blue shell. You can ruin someone's day with the blue shell. It's not your friend anymore, or they're not related to you anymore. But I love Mario Kart games. They're just the best. Finally, on to my last pick. This one is actually my favorite out of the whole series. I've only played two out of the 4 games for it, but series I do. I hear they have like a tournament, and I'm able to go to this tournament like at school, like and when I'm at OU, University of Oklahoma, where I go to school at, when I'm there, that they're having like a tournament for it, or they're just having like a day, like just having like a thing party or whatnot, and I hear about it, or they're playing this game. I hear about they're gonna play this game somewhere on campus or somewhere in the dorms. I'm like, go play it. I have to go play it, and like, and I've only there was like one time where I chose not to play it because I didn't have time to play it because I got out of class. Like my class was like I had class during that time, so I wasn't able to go and play it, and I was super bummed out about it. But playing this series, and that's Super Smash Bros. Super Smash Bros. Is my favorite Nintendo series, in my opinion. Other than Mario Kart, it's the one thing that Nintendo has kept Nintendo alive. Like if they didn't have if they didn't have Super Smash Brothers, they would not exist anymore. Like Nintendo would be out of business. Because they have Super Smash Brothers for ever since the N64. They've had it on every single console they've ever put out. They do not. I've been waiting to hear news on if they're going to put it on the Switch, and my personal opinion, I think that they should release the game for the Switch, but do a reboot, do a remake of Melee. Just give me Melee. Just all I want is updated graphics. Don't mess with the story. Don't add new stages. Just give me a remake of Melee, an HD remake of Melee. That's all I want. I just want better graphics. That's all I want. I don't want anything else because Melee is my favorite game of all time. I played it all the time as a kid with my cousins and my sister, and I would get so mad at my one cousin for beating us by playing with like noob characters, playing with like characters that if you looked on the tier list, they're like towards the bottom. And my sister would always play with the best character, which was Fox, and she would still lose to my cousin. She would still lose to him, and I would pick Zelda. And if you played transformed into Sheik, Sheik was the second best character, and yet he would still beat us. He would still beat us, and he'd play with like Mewtwo and Little Link and Link and Dr. Mario and then Pikachu, but his like favorite Mewtwo, and Mewtwo is like towards the bottom, and yet he would still beat us. I hated him for that, but I love Super Smash Brothers. I love this series. I love how the game is this. The game is kind of simple. Like it's kind of simple to learn the controls. The controls are kind of simple. Controls are like very simple, and it's easy to pick up at when you first play it. But in order to master it, like Melee, it's hard to master Melee, and not very many people can do it. And that's what I love about it. I love the fact that like it's a simple game. It's a simple fighting game, but it's that type of fighting game that makes you kind of upset when you're playing against your friends, because if you've got like stock, if you're doing stock, which I hate stock, and you've got items turned on, and your friend is playing, like if you're playing like Brawl or you're playing 4 and someone's playing as Meta Knight, you might as well just quit. You might as well just quit. You might as well just kick that friend out the door, because they're gonna win every single time. And I want to tell you like why I hate stock. Here's why I hate stock. was playing the very first time I ever played Super Smash Bros. 4 for the Wii U and 3DS. First time I ever played it. I don't own a Wii U, but I played it at school. Going to right now, and because I saw it, like I was going to class or I was going downstairs to get breakfast or whatnot, but I just left my room and I saw that there was a sign as I was leaving about to go down the stairs. I saw there was a sign saying holding the Super Smash Brothers thing. They were playing Super Smash Brothers that night. Later that night, and so I was like, "Cool, I love Melee. I'll play it. I'll play." Played it, so I went. So at night, went downstairs, and I was getting beat because of stop losing. I'm playing the game. Like I don't have an issue like watching people play it online. I don't have an issue with that. But when I'm actually there and I'm physically playing and I lose, it's no fun. It's no fun. It's really no fun just watching. For me, it's not. And I hate stock because it's not fair to the people that love playing the game but aren't great at the game. They're not great at the game. I hate it because it's an advantage for the people that are great at the game, but it's a disadvantage to the people that aren't so great at the game. So I love I love Super Smash Brothers, but I hate stock. I hate when people put stock on. How we played it at my grandparents' house was when we were playing Melee, we would do time. We would do time, maybe like a 2 minute match, like 2 to 5 minute match, and then at the end we'd find out who won. And we had items on too. More better gaming experience, so much more better because that way to play everyone could play the whole time and no one felt like they didn't get to they didn't get to play anymore because they're out. It keeps it more exciting. And the thing that I hated about 4, so one thing I hated about 4, besides the whole stock, I know they had stock in the other Smash Brothers games, but the thing that I hated about 4, and I hated it in Brawl 2, is how they separated Zelda and Sheik. I hated that. I hated that they separated Zelda and Sheik. I'm like, you cannot separate Zelda or Sheik. Like, you can't do it. It's not possible. Like, no. They're the same person. You can't do that. But that's not the thing that I hated the most. The thing that I hated the most in 4 is the 8-player Smash. Because you don't know where you're at. You think you're this person, but you end up being this other character. And it's like, I don't know where I'm at. I mean, yeah, it's fun when you're playing like with your friends or your family. It's fun. But like, it's fun playing like with a whole group of people. But when you have that many people playing and you're playing like on a like we played the one I can't remember what it was called. Uh, Legend of Zelda, but it wasn't Hyrule. It wasn't Hyrule's Castle. It was the one with the long bridge. That broke, like you break the bridge, and yeah, we played on that one, and that one, it was so hard to find out where you were. I mean, if you're playing on a bigger map, of course, you're not gonna have like a huge problem. That when we were playing like on a smaller map too, that was like, I don't know where I'm at. I can't find myself. So I hated it. I hate 8-player Smash because you can't find where you're at. You don't know where you're at. Yeah, your name pops up on the screen, but like sometimes you're not paying attention, and you lose track of where you're at, and then you end up dying. So I hate 8-player Smash, but I do love the series. I love the series though. I forgot I played one game out of the whole series, and I know it's sad, but that's the only game that my grandparents had, and that's Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. I love Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Played. There's a like I love story kind of like each game is different, and like there's a story attached to each game, but it's like not the same story. Like it's like it follows a storyline, but it doesn't at times. Like it's like Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild is like this many years before Ocarina of Time, and like the games don't really have like a continuation to them. It's like they're not they don't come out in the order of like when the storyline takes place. But I like the fact that it doesn't do that, but it still follows a storyline, but not in a particular order. Not in the right, love it. And I've seen people play Breath of the Wild, and I want to play Breath of the Wild so badly. It looks so. They took some time on the game. Like they took time on that game to make sure it was perfect, and that's what I love about it. They take a while to make their games, but when they do, they games go. Like, but they had issues with it. I apologize for that. My computer just decided to mess up. Uh, I there have been like Connect, for instance, Xbox uh 360 with Connect. That was terrible. My dad loves Connect. He praises Connect, like his job where he works. I'm not going to say where he works for obvious purposes, but he has people come in all the time where he works, and he'll talk to them, and they say that they bought a Wii because they thought it was super cool. But then they got the Connect, and they don't even mess with the Wii anymore. They don't touch the Wii anymore. They play with Connect, and I'm like, true, but the Connect sucks. My dad played the Connect at Best Buy. He played using it like he tested it out at Best Buy, and he said it was the greatest thing ever. I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not. Voice control thing. It's like Xbox. Play. It's like Xbox. 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 Go and watch Smosh Games trying to order pizza with the Kinect. Like they were trying to order pizza with Kinect, and they were having so much more trouble with it. They were raging so much, and it's terrible. And like you have to be in the sensor. You have to be in the sensor where the sensor is. You have to be in that area in order for it to pick you up and send you. And also, you can't be like super tall. If you're super tall, like there was an episode of Smosh Games that they did where they were doing they have this series that they have on Fridays called Game Bang, which is basically where they play a game and then they have a punishment if you get like the lowest score in that game, then or punishment. Sometimes they give a prize to the winner. Just depends on what they decide to do. Played Star Wars Connect. It was the dance game for the Connect, Star Wars dance game for the Connect, and Anthony was playing, and he was like he was playing it, and then all of a sudden like the game they couldn't see him, and he's like, I'm right here, choose me, and like if you're super tall, like I have this there was this kid I went to from elementary all the way to high school with. He was a grade below me. He and he's super tall. He's like 6'8", 6'9", somewhere around there. Like he's almost 7 feet tall, and he would not be able to use the Kinect because he would have to go all the way up against the wall just to be able to use the Kinect because he's so tall, and it's wouldn't work on him. So but in the end it wasn't, and that was a fail on Microsoft. They had that was a terrible console for them. And then the PlayStation Move. PlayStation Move was terrible for Sony. And Sony realized they capitalized on their mistake. They realized their mistake. They were like, this console is crappy. We're not going to use it anymore. We're going to put it away because it only has like a couple of games for it, and to market the game anymore, market the console anymore. But Microsoft with the Kinect, they just saying how it was, and in the end, it wasn't. So, yeah, and then Atari had 2600, which gave us one of the worst time. E.T. And I've gotten into dad about E.T. My dad says E.T. was a great game, but I told him no. They consider E.T. the worst game in history, next to Superman for the N64. Those are the two worst games in history. And my dad's like, no, E.T. was great. E.T. was great. I had that game. That game was so much fun. I love that game. Wait, you're lying. You're lying. That's your ears. Like you're lying. So the Atari had 2600, which was terrible because the games were terrible for it. Like Pac-Man for that console was terrible. E.T. was terrible. So, and like Sega had the Dreamcast, which sold poorly. It didn't do anything. So we've all had like one console. Like each gaming company that's ever came out has ever made a console, whether it be Atari, Sega, Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, it doesn't matter who it is. They've all made terrible, they've all had at least one bad console come out on their within their company. And Nintendo had you didn't sell. Didn't sell very well. And yeah, they had like GameCube didn't do so hot either, but GameCube did better than the Wii U. And the reason why Wii U didn't do so well was because people thought it was just an updated version of the Wii, and you were still gonna be able to use like motion control on it, but there was hardly anything on it that they just didn't want it. And third party developers can make a game for it because of how it was set up, how it was made. So now they've got the Switch out, and the Switch has been doing great. So great that I can't even find it. Can't even find the. I'm hoping like Nintendo. I hope they hear this, and I hope they send me a Switch. Send me that with Breath of the Wild and Bomberman. And then Deluxe. Those games, and then I'll be happy. So that's what what I. But but don't forget to like. So what's your favorite Nintendo gaming series is? Mention so you're to a lot. The controller, the controller was so great, and the fact that like still use it, you can use it on the Wii and the Wii U to still to this day you can still use that control on the Wii and the Wii U. The pad where they so comment below Nintendo series is bye.